Here you can see that big area of snow that moved through Chicago, but now we basically have just the classic lake effect snow. You can see the plumes coming down the lake, mainly affecting Lake and Porter counties.
Right now, let's take one more look from our ABC7 camera on the move in northwest Indiana. Travel along Interstate 8094 looks a little dicey, as you can see right now, and it could get even worse at times when those bands of snow move in, as Jerry talked about.
Sure. Take a quick look at live camera on the move in Gary, where they've got snow blowing and hard-packed roads. This crew just a few minutes ago, Jerry tried to go a little past Gary, a little east of Gary. Said they ran into a real heavy band and turned around and came back.
Well, there's a couple real heavy bands between Lake and also Porter counties. I'll show you those on radar in a second. And if you take a look at the radar, you can see that plume coming right down the lake, so almost a straight north wind with the heaviest snow in both Lake and Porter counties. And as Ron mentioned, our crew drove right through this, and so it's really coming down in spots.
Here it is on our computer model forecast. By 3 o'clock in the morning, it is still pounding northwest Indiana. It's only about 20 miles across, but if you're in the middle of it, it's really coming down. I see Tom Negevin has found the lake snow plume.
Yeah, wait till you see this one.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay, guys.
Okay, folks, there it is. There's the shot of the night right there. Tom Negevin patrolling the northwest Indiana roads, and they look awfully quiet behind you.
Yeah, you know, we have found the center of the storm, all right, no question. You guys remember this, right? Winter. Haven't seen much of it so far this season. Well, we're certainly seeing it now in northwest Indiana. The winds really picking up at this hour, having a dramatic impact on road conditions and, yes, visibility. In the span of less than an hour, conditions across a wide swath of northwest Indiana went from a little ugly to downright cruel.
It's freezing, and it's snowy, and it's gross.
It may be miserable, bitterly cold, with winds that feel like they could cut right through you, but they're the kind of conditions that often bring out the best in people. Like Paul here. This isn't even your car.
No, it's my wife's car.
Oh, you're a good man.
Yeah.
On the expressways and tollways, white-knuckle driving conditions in spots, blowing snow, reducing visibility, and making travel hazardous to start the weekend. But the plows and salt trucks were out early, keeping most of the roads from icing over. Motorists feeling like, well, like we've had it pretty easy.
It's cold. I don't like it, but we've been very lucky this year, so I can deal with it.
And the truth is, to be out in this stuff for any length of time, you might have to be just a little bit crazy.
It's pretty cold out here, but I can handle it.
Not a huge problem for Lady Liberty, but I'll tell you, from time to time, I'm having a tough time just standing up in this. And as Tom points out, you know, the high winds and the snowfall totals actually expected to intensify from this point through the overnight hours across this portion of northwest Indiana. Live in Portage, Tom Negevin, WGN News.
We'll continue to see this narrow lake effect snow band here across Lake and Porter counties, but either way, we're going to have narrow bands, isolated amounts pushing 9 or 10 inches. No additional snowfall expected here in Chicago. All right, let's go back out to Gary, Indiana. Tisha Lewis joining us right now. And Tisha, I thought you'd be shoveling a little snow by now.
Well, Bill, you know what? No shoveling for me just yet, but I know plenty of people in Gary who are watching this tonight. If they're not shoveling tonight, they will be tomorrow morning. The snow is still coming down. It's pretty much like a ghost town here in Gary, besides the occasional driver coming to this drive-through, and also you can see a few plow trucks in the area. Again, that's all a good thing. That means people are listening to the advice and staying indoors. The sheet of snow on the roadways is a recipe for disaster as temperatures continue to drop in the coming hours. Gary Mayor Karen Freeman Wilson, keeping her word, rode along with a snowplow driver today, and she's shared her assessment with us of the city's response. She says that she wanted them to know that she appreciated all of their hard work, and she said she learned a lot about how it all works. It's much harder than it looks. She also told us that here in Gary there are 6 plow trucks and also 8 pickup trucks that have the responsibility for keeping the roadways clear throughout the evening. They're working on 12-hour shifts. They started at 7 p.m., so they have several more hours to go. Bill, back to you.
All of this heavy snow is moving right toward Porter County. Let's get a little closer here and show you a series of images. On this side of Lake Michigan, things have come to an end. It's quiet, but certainly not the case across northwest Indiana. Right around the Chesterton area, I talked to my brother-in-law, lives near the beach there, and he said the winds are blowing the snow horizontally. Heavy snow continues through the Portage area. Here's I-65, still some moderate snow there. The heaviest activity is across Porter County, working its way southward. We still have the warning up, lake effect snow warning. That's all these counties highlighted in blue here.
What does it look like on the ground?
NBC5's Anthony Ponce has spent the night there. Anthony, how are conditions right now?
Well, I just heard Brant mention that his brother-in-law over in Chesterton says that the snow is blowing horizontally. Same thing here in Hobart, Indiana, where we're right off of I-65. Driving visibility very, very low. Driving conditions far from ideal. The road surface is very slick. Again, visibility very low. In fact, we just saw a 4x4 completely spin out on the exit ramp, and this could just be the beginning of a very long night for drivers in this region. In Munster, Indiana, lines of plows have been out since early this evening, and they have kept the roads drivable.
You have to drive really slow and be careful, that's all.
The full fleet's being called out starting at midnight in preparation for a long night of lake effect snow.
I can't complain about it as long as it ends by my birthday in April.
Indiana State Police in this region say even though the worst of it is yet to come, they've already dealt with more than 24 slide-offs and spin-outs.
It's quite slippery, especially getting off the tollway.
It's horrible.
Plow driver Todd Sura is gassing up for a long night ahead. How many hours are you going to put in?
Probably about 12 hours, yeah.
For him, this storm is a welcome sight.
It's been real, not too much snow, only a couple times now, The last one was about 8 inches or something like that.
So you're ready for this?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm hoping winter is canceled this year.
And the wind has really started to pick up just in the last 5 minutes or so here in Hobart. Again, Indiana State Police say they've already dealt with dozens of slide-offs, spin-offs, accidents on the interstate. So, of course, drivers are urged to slow way down, allow plenty of room between you and the car in front of you, and plenty of room for plows to do their job. We're live tonight in Hobart, Indiana. Anthony Ponce, NBC5 News.
In northwest Indiana. You're looking at a live picture from one of our ABC7 cameras on the move along Interstate 8094 in Lake County. It looks pretty clear now, but that could quickly change. ABC7's Stacy Baca joining us live tonight from Gary, Indiana, where the snow is starting to pile up. Stacy, how's it going?
Well, Cheryl, the snow is certainly falling at a steady clip tonight, especially during the last couple of hours. The last 30 minutes maybe slowing down just a little bit. This story, though, is not just about the snow. It's also about the winds whipping up through the streets of Gary and the cold temperatures really starting to settle in. As we just mentioned, Ron did, the wind chill factors may actually dip below 0 tonight as well. Snow swirls through the streets of Gary, freezing faces.
That's too cold. That's why I'm using my mask and everything.
Is that mask keeping you warm?
Yeah.
Warm while working. Snow crews like this 4-man team quickly clear sidewalks and will do so for several hours straight.
1924 straight.
All night into tomorrow?
Yes, until tomorrow.
How are you? ¿Hace frío?
Mucho frío. Very cool.
Cold and a reason to cancel classes.
A friend of mine was already in class, and she texted me and let me know that they was canceling class.
For drivers, it's dangerous.
Kind of slippery. I almost slid through a red light down there, but hopefully they'll salt the roads.
In Portage, the snow fighting fleet is out in full force. The same is true in Gary. Snowplow drivers are on 12-hour shifts.
We can't burn them out, but we're going to get the job done.
And that includes going all night and into the morning.
Including myself.
And Gary's new mayor, who jumped in a snow truck to see the roads firsthand.
I just want to come out and see exactly how hazardous and how we're doing and whether there are things that need to be stepped up.
Tonight, snow is blowing down the expressways like the 8094 through Gary. Remarkably, some enjoy this very scene and being part of it.
This is common weather. We haven't had weather like this all winter long, so I love it. I love it.
Even driving in it?
Oh, yeah.
Love that optimistic attitude. And a reminder here as well, don't forget there are those parking restrictions in place for certain roads, especially here in Gary. They're enforcing that this year. So if there's more than 2 inches of snow on certain roads and you're parked there, you could be towed and ticketed. Something to definitely keep in mind. Reporting live in Gary tonight, I'm Stacey Baca, ABC 7 News. Ron?
And you can bet your last money it's always going to be a Stone Gas, honey. I'm Don Cornelius, and as always in parting, we wish you love.